What started as a typical summer day has turned into one of the most destructive and unsettling afternoons that residents here have faced in recent memory. A violent series of storms, including a powerful tornado, severe thunderstorms, relentless lightning, and large hail, swept across the region over a matter of just a few hours, leaving behind widespread damage, power outages, and deep concern as cleanup and recovery efforts now begin. Let's take you through what has unfolded. The morning of June 25th began in stark contrast to how it ended. Early in the day, conditions seemed ideal for summer activities. Temperatures climbed steadily, reaching the upper 20s Celsius by midday, and while skies were partly cloudy, there was little indication for many that anything out of the ordinary was on the horizon. Yet behind the scenes, meteorologists were tracking a dangerous setup. A severe thunderstorm watch had already been issued before noon by Environment Canada. The warning highlighted the potential for damaging winds, large hailstones, and the possibility of isolated tornadoes as a cold front pushed down from the northwest, colliding with a warm, humid air mass flowing in from the south. By mid-afternoon, conditions deteriorated at a pace that caught many off guard. At around 2:30 p.m., radar imagery began showing the classic signs of supercell development near Lake Huron. The atmosphere had become increasingly unstable. Elevated dew points, combined with significant wind shear and the influence of the nearby lakes, created the perfect conditions for rotating storms. Shortly after 3 p.m., tornado warnings were issued, with the first focused on the Barrie-Innisfil area. At approximately 3:27 p.m., that warning became reality when a tornado touched down on the outskirts of Angus, a small and tightly knit community west of Barrie. According to the Northern Tornadoes Project, the tornado has been rated as an EF2, packing winds that may have approached 190 kilometers per hour. The twister carved a destructive path roughly 6 kilometers long and nearly 400 meters wide, damaging or destroying dozens of homes, tearing roofs away, splintering trees, and overturning vehicles. In scenes that residents will not soon forget, entire streets were left unrecognizable. One local resident, Carlos Mendoza, shared his experience. The sky took on this eerie greenish-black color, and then the wind was unlike anything I have ever heard. It was like standing next to a freight train. I grabbed my kids and ran for the basement. When we emerged, our roof was partially gone, the neighbor's garage was flattened, and power lines were down everywhere. Emergency crews, including firefighters, paramedics, and police, rushed to assist. Their efforts, however, were challenged by blocked roads, debris, and live power lines tangled across streets. Incredibly, despite the destruction, there have been no reported fatalities. 14 people were injured, 2 of them critically, and they were transported to nearby hospitals where they remain under medical care tonight.
You just see the branches all over there, and we move kind of quick here now, but I look west, I was looking out here.
But the tornado was only part of the threat. The larger storm system continued to rage across the region. By 4 p.m., a massive thunderstorm cell had formed over Lake Simcoe and was pushing rapidly eastward. This storm unleashed more than 1,500 lightning strikes in less than 2 hours, setting off fire alarms and, in some cases, igniting small grass fires that fire crews raced to contain. Meanwhile, large hailstones, some measured at over 4 centimeters in diameter, pelted communities including Orillia, Bradford, and New Tecumseth. The damage to property has been extensive. Car windshields were shattered, vinyl siding on homes was punctured, and crops in the agricultural belt were decimated in mere minutes. Farmers are reporting losses as high as 80% in some fields, with strawberries, corn, and soybeans among the hardest hit. "I was inside the greenhouse when the hail started," said Megan O'Donnell, who farms near Alliston. "It sounded like rocks pounding the glass. We tried to cover what we could, but within 10 minutes most of our summer crop was ruined. I have never seen anything like it." Hydro One has reported that at the peak of the event, more than 28,000 customers were without electricity. The hardest hit areas included Barry, Innisfil, and parts of Oro-Medonte. Hydro crews have been working non-stop to restore power, but some rural locations may remain in the dark for several days. Public infrastructure has also taken a heavy hit. Portions of Highway 400 were temporarily closed due to flooding and downed trees, and several secondary roads remain impassable. GEO Transit rail service into and out of Barry South Station was suspended due to damage to electrical infrastructure and debris on the tracks, leaving many commuters stranded and delaying travel across the region. The Simcoe County Emergency Operations Center was activated at 4:45 p.m., bringing together agencies from fire, paramedic, police, and public works departments to coordinate the response. Community centers in Barry, Innisfil, and Midland have been opened as emergency shelters, providing hot meals, clean water, and a safe place to stay for families forced from their homes. Volunteers from the Canadian Red Cross and local churches have mobilized quickly, distributing essential supplies including blankets and hygiene kits. Social media platforms have been flooded with posts offering help, from spare bedrooms and basement apartments to pet sitting for displaced families. Experts say today's event was the product of a rare and dangerous convergence of atmospheric conditions. Dr. Emily Tran, a climatologist at Western University, explained that the collision between the warm, moisture-laden air mass and the cold Arctic front created intense instability. The influence of a dry line boundary and the local geography, particularly the proximity to the Great Lakes, amplified the severity of the storms. What we saw today was textbook supercell development, with strong rotation visible on radar. It is a reminder that severe weather can strike quickly and with little warning. Tornadoes are not new to Ontario, but their frequency and intensity appear to be changing. Between 1980 and 2020, the province averaged around 12 tornadoes per year. Recent years, however, have seen spikes, with 23 confirmed tornadoes in 2021 alone. Climate scientists warn that as the atmosphere continues to warm, the risk of extreme weather events is increasing. More moisture in the air means more fuel for powerful storms. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.